I'm going to keep this straightforward because most of you watching are trying to decide whether a portable power station like the PowerMax 1800SE is worth the money, or if you'd be better off spending that budget on a small generator or just a few extra batteries. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The hesitation I hear most often is, will this actually power the things I need during a blackout or a weekend off-grid? Or am I just buying a heavy box that sits in the garage? In the next few minutes, I'll walk through how the 1800W rating translates into real-world use, where the value really lies, and who should walk away. First, let's talk about what a portable power station is supposed to do. It's essentially a large rechargeable battery with an inverter that turns DC into AC, plus a handful of DC ports for phones, laptops, or lights. The PowerMax 1800SE packs an 1800W continuous output, which on paper sounds enough to run a mini fridge, a couple of laptops, or a TV. The real question is how long it can sustain that load. The unit houses a 1-800WH lithium iron phosphate pack. So if you were to draw a steady 500W, you'd get roughly 3.5 hours before the battery hits its low voltage cutoff. That's a useful figure because many people think in terms of watts and forget the hours part. For a short outage where you just need lights, a router, and maybe a phone charger, the PowerMax can easily cover the entire event. For longer blackouts, you'll need to conserve power or have a way to recharge it. Speaking of recharging, the PowerMax offers three main avenues: wall AC, a 12V car outlet, and solar panels up to 500W. If you have a decent solar setup, say two 200W panels, you can replenish the battery in about 6 to 8 hours of good sunlight. That makes it a viable option for weekend camping where you're off the grid for a day or two. However, the solar input isn't unlimited. Push more than 500W, and the charge controller will throttle the input, meaning you can't just slap a 1000W array onto it and expect faster charging. This is a hidden trade-off that catches first-time buyers off guard. The station is portable, but its solar intake caps at a level that's appropriate for modest loads, not rapid refill of the whole pack. Weight is another practical factor. At around 45 pounds, the PowerMax isn't something you'll toss in a backpack. It's portable in the sense that you can roll it on its integrated handle and wheels from the garage to the campsite, but it's not a lightweight solution for backpacking. If you're the type who hikes 5 days and needs a power source for a headlamp and a phone, you'll probably be better off with a smaller 200WH unit. On the other hand, for RV owners, tailgaters, or anyone who wants a backup that can sit in the utility room and be wheeled out during an emergency, the weight feels more like a trade-off for the higher capacity. Now let's look at the ports because they dictate how you actually use the thing. The PowerMax comes with one AC outlet, two USB-C PD ports, three standard USB-A ports, a 12V car socket, and a 6mm barrel output for low-voltage devices. The AC outlet is pure sine wave, which matters if you're planning to run sensitive electronics like a laptop charger or a small inverter for a medical device. In practice, I've seen people connect a 300W electric kettle and a 100W laptop simultaneously without the unit tripping. That's a practical strength, the ability to juggle a couple of moderate loads at once. The downside is that there's only a single AC outlet, so you can't plug a TV and a mini fridge together without using a power strip, something the manual warns against if the combined draw exceeds 1800W. It's a limitation that's easy to overlook until you try to power more than two AC devices. Battery chemistry matters for longevity. The PowerMax uses lithium iron phosphate, LiFePO, which typically tolerates more charge cycles than traditional lithium-ion cells and is more stable at higher temperatures. This means you won't see a dramatic capacity loss after a few hundred cycles, and you can store it at 50% charge for months without worrying about degradation. If you're a homeowner looking for a long-term emergency backup, that chemistry is a genuine plus. For a casual camper who will only use it a few times a year, the benefit is less obvious, but it does add confidence that the unit won't become a dead weight after a couple of seasons. Cost is the final piece of the puzzle. The